Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Mask. I'm your host, Sarah Joy, your friendly neighborhood interrogator turned clone, helping you get to know who the person is behind the screen name. Sammy, now you get that a little better, don't you? Sammy has some
Yeah.
inside information I'm not sharing. So tonight we're chatting with Sammy. You may know her from Greasy Panda Gaming and from her guest role on Starbirds and a whole lot of other games. So, Sammy, tell us a little about yourself.
Uh, Not a whole lot to say. I'm a gamer, obviously. That's why I'm here. Uh, oh geez.
I know,
I
right? Suddenly the camera goes on and you're like, "Oh no, we're live." Now
yeah,
everything counts. That's
yeah.
all right. How does Go
Hmm?
ahead.
I thought about this all day, and
Yes.
it's just gone.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll work it through. So we were talking a little bit. You rushed home. You are not in Eastern Standard Time, which is where Coruscant Nights is based out of. We're doing this a little later in our time frame. This is our after dark version or our before Sarah Joy's bedtime version. um, where you're actually located in.
Canada, the left side specifically. So I'm 4 hours from as left as you could possibly be without taking a ferry. So
Oh my goodness. So this is going to tell you how much I know about Canada. There are parts of Canada where you have to take a ferry to get into the Pacific Ocean, and it's still Canada?
yes. So about 4 hours left of me, there's Vancouver and kind of the surrounding area.
Uh-huh.
And then you take a ferry across a little stretch of the Pacific Ocean to the island, which in Canada we just call the island because it's the only one that matters. And that's where you get to, like, I think Nanaimo is the biggest town on the island, which is still pretty small because it's an island. But
Oh
after
my God,
that, then
I've
you get to the
never
rest of
heard
the
of
Pacific
that.
Ocean.
That's so cool. So it's the island, and Nanaimo. Am I anywhere close
Yes.
to that?
Yep.
Okay. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. So there's more of Canada than any of us over here in the East Coast United States realize. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. And you said you actually drove home through a snowstorm to get here tonight, right?
Yes, I actually live in a valley, so a normal winter here is 2 or 3 inches that stays for a week and melts. But due to current events, climate
There you
change,
go. Right?
we are having a regular, normal person winter here. So we've had a few
Oh,
feet of snow,
interesting.
and it's not going anywhere fast.
Oh, wow. Yeah, whereas where I'm at, we normally have like at least a foot of snow and we've got like a foot of rain. It doesn't make sense. Global weirding.
Yeah.
We can say that and get away with it. I like to sneak in that. So tell us a little more about yourself. I would love to know how the Muggle world perceives you.
Uh, if I have my
That's
way,
all
as
me.
little as possible.
I like
Um,
it.
um, by day, security guard at a hospital, and that's a lot of fun. I said through gritted teeth. Uh,
That I'm sure it's an experience.
I've only been kicked in the head between 3 and 5 times.
I feel that. What number concussion are you on?
I don't know, and the concussions are probably why.
Right, right. Oh my goodness. It threw you win a prize.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
it's a
goodness.
challenging job, and my town is pretty small, so but it's
Oh
growing,
yeah.
so it has. I've worked at this job for six years,
Mhm.
and it has changed a lot since I started, just because the population in town here is growing. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Do you know
but
I'm
what I'm
s
not what
Mhm. No, go
so what
ahead.
I'm okay. So when I'm not doing that stupid stuff to afford a roof and games,
Right.
I
Yep.
am spending my free time gaming because, with the exception of work and I think I have a game scheduled every other day of the week. So I'm getting my rolling in.
Oh yeah. So we were talking before we went live on YouTube, and Sammy actually has a bunch of pictures of all of different characters that she plays, like a bunch. And these are just the selected ones. And Sammy, you have a calendar that like a date book in which you keep all your
Yeah.
gaming schedules.
Well,
I love it.
date book as in it's my phone.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
That's
So I don't know if you could see that,
oh my
but
goodness,
the
yeah.
the blank days are work days. Everything
Mhm.
else is games. So
I love it. I love it. Did I see like are there 2 games in one day
uh,
sometimes?
I, sometimes let's see, two
I
games.
like it. It's
Uh,
devotion.
oh, actually, no, that was my reminder to replace the furnace filter, which is
Oh.
in fact not a game.
Yeah, so fun fact, if you don't do it for a year and a half, it's not good. It's not good. Replace your furnace filter.
3 times a
Not the
year
good.
at least. 4 if you have pets.
Oh, that is really smart. So in a year and a half, that should have been done like 6 times.
Yeah.
Some of us don't adult well. So,
Well, there's a
oh my
reason I
god.
have a reminder on my phone.
Yeah,
So
that's really smart. This is the first time I've ever heard anyone tell me that I need to replace it that often. Oh my god. So, yeah, let's talk about all of the awesome games that you're in. So, what currently is one of your favorites? I won't make you choose between your children.
uh, one of is we're calling the game Chaos Forward
Uh-huh.
because uh, that's who we are as a party. And it's run by a friend of mine, Bounty Hunter, who was on the Tabletop Galaxy podcast that's on YouTube somewhere. If you don't
Nice.
mind me plugging other people's stuff.
Please plug away. Like this is a community that supports,
Yeah.
not suppresses.
But yeah, it's Tabletop Galaxy. It's a great community over there. And that's actually the podcast I recommend to people to listen to when they're just getting into the system, because where most actual plays kind of cut out the crunchy bits, they took the time to, like, it was their first time playing the system as well. So
Mhm.
they took the time in game and on recording to just take a quick break. And this is what the rule says. This is why we're doing it. So it's the best way to actually learn the system before jumping into other podcasts, just to kind of get a better feel for the narrative part.
Mhm. I love that. Mark just dropped the YouTube link in the Discord chat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We plug and plug away here. So that's awesome. So tell me about your character. Like tell us. I'm not the only one here. Tell us about your character.
Okay, so in that one, I'm playing Syl,
Mhm.
a undercover Mandalorian.
Oh
She
yeah.
was framed for uh, cowardly crimes against another clan
Mhm.
and was banished, which is how I explain not having Mandalorian armor with the starting credits. Uh,
I like it.
but she's goes about the galaxy, just trying to make her way, while eventually hoping to clear her name and kind of get back in good graces with the rest of her clan. And through sheer coincidence, one of the other players in that game
Mhm.
also made an undercover Mandalorian. So it's really fun because we're both like dropping hints, just waiting for the other the other character to figure it out.
You're like, I might be from this planet where we wear really cool outfits. Are you from a planet where you wear really cool outfits? I like
Yeah,
it.
well, on their ship, the Chaos Forward, uh, on their
Capital
cabin
game.
quarters, they actually scraped their name on the cabin door in the Mandalorian script, so it's not subtle.
Like they're kind of like, look over here. Over here. Can you read this? There's a reason I wrote this. I like
Yeah, well,
it.
it's one of those. in character, they're trying to keep it a secret, but both the players want it to happen because that would be a really fun interaction once they figure out each other's secrets.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So when you have an in-game secret like that, do you talk to the other player about it, like especially if it's something that you want to come out, or do you play pretty close to the chest?
Uh,
I
Generally,
know.
that would depend on the group. Um,
Hmm.
I tend to vet who I play with pretty carefully. Just being a queer gamer, that's part of the process is vetting who you play with, and just by extension, I end up playing with a bunch of really cool people. So in this game, both myself and the other player, we know the character's secrets, um, but we're just letting it happen naturally in the game. So.
I love that. I wanna delve into a couple things there. First off, you hit on something that you say you play with a lot of really cool people. I know that
Mhm.
one of the questions in the chat was from I think Sam Emery who asked, "How are you so flipping cool?"
uh, that
Which I love. How and or why and or how are you so flipping awesome? Let me translate that a little better.
okay.
Many
So
reasons, right?
I think it was kind of a joke question, but I'm gonna
No,
get
it's true.
real deep with it
Do it.
because
Oh my god, do it. I'm so here for this.
I think it has to do a lot with the fact that I am in fact queer. If it wasn't obvious, I am trans and bi? Question mark. Gender is weird, but anyway,
Gender is weird for sure.
many years ago, when I was still in the closet, it I was not a good person. Um, on a scale, I could have been a lot worse, but I could have been better. And being queer and coming out of the closet and existing in the world as a trans person, um, it kind of sucks to say that I needed it to happen to me before I really felt empathy for other people. But
Okay.
that was um, kind of the cornerstone for me being a better person was, oh wow, the world is terrible. I should be less terrible. and and obviously everybody around here has only known me, as far as I know, I don't think anybody has known me while I was in the closet, and everybody has that perception of me, but I was in the past a not great person, and
Mhm.
due to life circumstances, I'm better now, and I try really hard to project that into the world and just be good. And for some reason, people makes it that makes people think I'm awesome for whatever reason.
Well, yeah, that's like so many times I think like me personally, I've seen it and I am sure that other people have had this experience that, you know, a person can take bad things that happen to them and they can really just let it fester inside of them and then project it out on the world, like no matter
Hmm.
who they are. And I would venture to say that most times when a person experiences hurt, instead of taking that and being self-reflective, like I hear that you say that you were, which is awesome, they take that and they use it to hurt other people. And
Hmm.
like, I love that you didn't do that. And you were like, you know what? That is not who I'm going to be. I understand now that the things I said and did hurt people. I'm making this assumption, but the
Yeah,
things that I said and did hurt people, and that is not okay. And I'm not going to continue to be that. And I'm going to be a better person and put light into the world.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's why you're awesome. That's
Mhm.
amazing. And I love that. And like the gaming world especially, I feel like it's really two-pronged, and I'm speaking from my personal experience, and I would love to hear your experience on this as well because it's going to be a different perspective from mine. Like where you either meet really amazing people who are super warm and accepting and loving, or you meet, oh, Mark, I'm trying so hard not to cuss right now. You meet really judgmental, terrible people. I didn't say the A word. Um, but you meet really judgmental, terrible people who like do try to hurt you and tear you down and
Mhm.
like do gatekeep and stuff like that. So like I loved what you said earlier about vetting who you play with. Can you I'm throwing two questions at you at once. I try not to do this, but can you kind of talk to your experience in the game world and how you vet people? Because that might help other people who are either still in the closet or are out and are looking for awesome people to game with. Like you have found a system for it, seems like, my friend.
Uh, for me,
Hmm.
it's I shoot from the hip and just go from first instinct on people.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't often throw up like a looking for a group and just kind of pick the first four randos that show up. Um, existing as a trans person just on the internet, you
Hmm.
tend to develop um, a good sense for people through very limited interaction, and especially over text only interaction.
Hmm.
So I have a reasonably um, just a good feel for it.
Hmm.
Um, but for the Chaos Forward game, uh, Bounty is running that one,
Hmm.
and I helped them set up, or I guess they did all the hard work on the spreadsheet. But uh,
Yes, spreadsheets.
yep.
I see
So,
you,
so
Bounty. I see you.
uh, they had all the applicants for the game, kind of their interests and kind of what they wanted out of the game, as well as kind of like where we're playing Star Wars. So we had the eras, which eras interest you, which ones don't, which one are you indifferent for, and just kind of got everybody into a group chat and just kind of um, just talked to everybody for a few days and just kind of
Oh, smart.
compared that interaction to their applications on the spreadsheet.
Hmm.
And obviously, like one of the first things on the questionnaire is this is a queer friendly game, just period. And that will by itself cut out a lot of the chaff, I suppose.
Uh-huh. People will
So
see
just
themselves out.
mhm. Yeah, just be upfront about that.
Hmm. Nice. What got you into gaming?
Oh gosh, probably the same way as a lot of people. They just wanted to like, hey, this tabletop thing looks pretty cool. Let's try it out.
Hmm.
Uh, and my first experience with it was actually an actual play. Yeah, they ran fourth edition of D&D just years ago.
My God.
That was a critical hit. I think I haven't listened to them for quite a while.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
not a huge fan of D&D anymore. But so got into that.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not my system of choice. It's okay.
Yeah. Uh, went out, got a bunch of books, and tried to get a few people together to try it out.
Hmm.
But back then, you ran into the trouble of everybody wants to play, nobody wants to GM, and I didn't know really enough people to kind of cast a wide net to gather a crew.
Hmm.
So our fourth edition adventures didn't last very long, and after a uh, long hiatus, got back into fifth edition uh, with a new friend group after I moved out here to BC,
Hmm.
and that game lasted for I think a year and a half. The current events kind of threw a wrench into that plan,
Hmm.
uh,
The
but
nameless
I'm
event, so YouTube
yes,
doesn't censor us.
yes, exactly. Um, but started kind of drifting away from D&D because I like fantasy, but
Mhm.
I prefer Star Wars, and I just think the Fantasy Flight Games system is just a better dice system. Like I ran a 5e game a couple days ago,
Mhm.
and a player missed their attack, and it's well, sucks to suck. Wait for your next turn. Instead of Star Wars or the narrative dice system, even if you fail, you can still usually do something else that contributes to the combat or
Mhm.
current or whatever you're doing in the game, and it's less. Um,
You're getting a lot of agreement from the chat with that, by the way. A lot of agreement.
yeah, 5e is good with the right group, but it's easier to have a fun game with the Fantasy Flight system. And of course, with Realms of Terranoth, I could get back into fantasy stuff with the better dice system, but I'm a Star Wars fan. I like Star Wars.
I love it. I love it so much. I actually do really love the and I call them fate dice, fate system. I don't know if that's correct. I just make up my own words sometimes and
Mhm,
decide that they're correct. But I really love the narrative quality of the fate dice because like you're right, like with D&D, you know, I am the Will Wheaton of my group where it
mhm.
is not unusual for me to roll like 2 or 3 natural ones in a game for
Yeah.
D&D. So like I have to incorporate it into my character and I'm like, well, my character just sucks. Instead of being like with the fate system being like, oh man, I totally had a oh my god, why can't I remember what it is? It's a failure, Mark. It's a failure. I'm really good at that. Um with the but you can like have like little advantages at the same
Mhm.
time so you can like set them up for another character. So yeah, super with you on that. So critical hit, and I love how podcasting got so many people into gaming. It's super
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how did you stumble across that? Because like I ended up with Critical Role, but that
Oh,
was because of my brother. Like, but how did that come into your world?
honestly, I have no idea. That was had to be like a decade ago at least.
Mhm.
Yes, I would have been I think early 20s when we started doing 5e. So yeah, as a decade ago, I have no idea how I found that. I was probably just googling how to play D&D because
I love it.
yeah.
Right. What else are you gonna do?
Mhm.
Oh my god, I love that. Wheat, by the way. That's just another little algorithm plug for anybody with a podcast. How to play whatever. Good things to put on your YouTube algorithm, podcasting algorithm stuff. So I'm gonna flip us over into some chat questions. AJ is slaying it with some questions. AJ really wants to know how did you get into, and I'm gonna say GPG because I think it's like
That's the acronym for Greasy Panda Gaming.
thank you, Greasy Panda Gaming. I got the
Mhm.
Panda Gaming.
Yeah, so that actually ties back to more podcasts. Uh, my friend Dustin and I, we didn't actually know each other at the time, but we were both listening to, coincidentally, we were listening to the backlog of Heroes of the Heidi and White at the same time,
Mhm.
just by sheer coincidence. So we were geeking about, mm, pardon me, we were geeking out about it in the Heidi and Way Discord,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and um, starting a podcast was kind of something in the back of both our minds that we wanted to do. But Dustin already had kind of the groundwork laid out for it, so I just jumped on board and took all the credit.
That's really smart. I highly advocate for that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
goodness. Super fun. And Mark dropped a link. So it's in the Discord chat. We'll have all of this this is me telling Andrew and Mark this. Sorry guys for giving you more work. But we'll have all of these links on the YouTube too. So that'll be super exciting. So everybody can get to it too. That's awesome. Sweet. So like, yeah, I love that. When did you all start that?
Last year, or actually, oh gosh, time is fake. Actually,
No,
uh,
I know. Time's a construct. This is not real.
uh, somewhere between 2 years and a year and a half ago,
Okay.
we recorded almost the entirety of the Forgotten module,
Mhm.
which was uh, written by the D20 radio crew back when FFG Star Wars was a beta.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
absolutely love that story, and I was very excited for the chance to get to run that one for people. So we got almost that entire thing recorded, and then we had our official first episode release launch on Star Wars Podcast Day last year, which
Yeah.
is coming up next month, I think.
Oh, it's almost your anniversary.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I love that so much.
Hmm.
Yes. 1 year, you've made it. It's past the seal. Oh, AJ gave a big thumbs up in a lot of different gifts for that. So I've seen actually a couple of things on the chat that I'm super interested about. Something about Mando Armor.
Oh yes.
Tell me
In
about
hind
this.
in hindsight, I probably should have grabbed that before we started, so I could just hold it up to the camera. But I forgot it, and it's in the other room, so I'll just
Wait, wait,
describe
wait.
it.
You have actual Mando armor. You
Yes.
you
Well, I'm
as
working
a
on it. It's a work in progress.
Okay, tell
Um,
us all about this.
so I am in the process of 3D printing armor.
Oh my
Uh,
god. Okay,
all
I'm
I
gonna
have so far is just the helmet because 3D printing is very expensive if you're not doing it yourself.
Yep.
Yep. So I have the helmet, and I also did it wrong, so I spent way more time on it than I should have because I did things in the wrong order.
You learned something. That's what you did. You just had a
The
learning experience.
Yeah, the problem is I learned on the most complicated piece of the armor instead of the chest piece, which is flat. So
Right, but you probably wouldn't have learned the same lesson.
true. Yeah, so I have the helmet. In order to 3D print it, you have to 3D print it into like 5 pieces. So you have the two halves and the dome on top, then the earpieces. Um, so I have that all glued together, and I'm in the process of sanding it. And then after that, the process is bondo, sand, repeat ad nauseum, and then paint.
Gosh, I
But
love
then
this.
the helmet will be ready.
It's so
And
good.
uh, flip over to my other screen.
So Sammy is way more tech savvy than I am. Look at that. Look at that.
So eventually, the paint job will be the Mandalorian in the middle, which is the aforementioned sill prior to banishment.
Oh my
Um,
goodness, I love it so much.
you'll notice the huge nerd I am. Their family crest is a D20. Which,
As it should be. Oh yes.
but yeah,
Not
so I
only
picked
is Sammy more tech savvy, Sammy can zoom in on things. Oh my god, it's so
so
good.
the helmet design I chose was kind of like a pre-made one, but I went
Mhm.
through and picked the closest one to this design.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh, I love that so much. That is a huge project. When did you start this?
a couple of years ago, but
Accurate.
yeah, I'm working on it. It's
That is amazing.
a process.
I do some cosplay too, and I own a 3D printer, and I
Mhm.
cannot get it to level. So, like the
Oh,
fact that you can get it to level and like print things out, I'm super impressed already.
mhm,
And the fact that everybody else is mentioning it in the chat, everybody else is super impressed. So like you're doing a good job.
mhm.
So Sammy, we're getting requests to see it. What I would recommend is afterwards, any pictures you have, You can drop them in the this is a shameless plug for the Behind the Mask Discord chat. We have our own
Mhm.
little channel on the Nightcast Creative Discord. For everybody who's over on YouTube, you can jump over there and see Sammi's awesome armor that she's working on. So I'm
Yep.
super excited about that.
I will absolutely do that.
Wait, I love that. I love little tidbits like that come out. I love the D20. That's such a great detail. Also,
Yep.
AJ, that answers your question. That's the character that goes with the awesome Mando armor is Syl, correct?
Yep. SYL still.
I love it. I got it. I have a terrible working memory, so anytime I pick up on something and can bring it back, I get really excited. So, this is good. This is another question from AJ that I really like. What is your favorite part of gaming?
The storytelling. I just it sounds cheesy, but that's
No,
it.
it's my favorite.
Just getting to tell stories with your friends is great. Which call back to of the system.
Hmm.
Fantasy Flight Games is an amazing system for just storytelling and creating. And that's also part of why I like the Star Wars version, because I'm a Star Wars fan. I like creating stuff in Star Wars
Hmm.
and just it's really something special to be able to create stories in the Star Wars universe. It's yeah.
So let's go a little bit more into that. You've mentioned a couple times that you're just a really big Star Wars fan. What got you into Star Wars, friend?
Uh Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
What is your first Star Wars memory then? You came from the womb and Star Wars was playing on the
Yes.
television. Yes.
Okay, so two things.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I w- three things. One, I was 9 when the Phantom Menace came out.
You are
Uh,
younger than me, but continue. I'm
uh,
okay.
I had a toy DL-44, which is Han Solo's blaster. It had batteries at one point. Uh, my parents would consistently swap them out with dead batteries for unknown reasons.
Oh my god, I love it.
And 3, I had a Naboo starfighter toy that was about yay long. So it was
Hmm.
a fair sized one, and it had like a handle on the bottom so you could fly it around the house. That
Yeah.
also had consistently dead batteries for unknown reasons.
I was gonna say, did that one have batteries and did they die?
The batteries died.
Oh my god, I love that. I love that. So then what was it about Star Wars that appealed to you? Or appeals to
Oh,
you? Present tense. We're all live here.
um,
I know I asked the hard questions.
yeah, that's um,
So much, right?
yeah, like the universe just feels lived in. Like
Ooh.
Star Trek is good, but
Mhm.
everything is pristine. Everything
Mhm.
looks like a set. If
Like
you
it.
look at the Millennium Falcon, there's a crate of stuff, and it just falls over sometimes. Like,
Yes.
camera that side. I just have a pile of stuff there.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm. Mine's
Star
over
Wars
here. You
feels.
can't see it.
Yeah, I need to redo my setup so you can see less of my bedroom. Uh, but like Star Wars, it feels. I hesitate to use the word gritty, given how um, a lot of media takes gritty stuff, or the direction that a lot of media takes gritty. But um,
I like that. I
Yeah.
like the lived in, and I like gritty as a descriptor too, because I'm very tactile. So like it feels like I can almost feel it. Like you're
Hmm.
expecting things to be like you touch them and they're dirty, but like not like dirty bad, but like dirty it's been here for 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. And um it's also just a really big universe. There's
Hmm.
things happening in the background that isn't mentioned. It's just there's stuff over here, which kind of um, obviously it's all legends and non-canon now, but there was 30 years of novels of varying quality, and
That was the nicest way I've ever heard the Star Wars novels described. Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
I have a hard drive full of audiobooks of the old Star Wars books, and there's a few that I will just listen to on repeat every once in a while because they're really good, and it's the part of Star Wars that I like. So,
Mhm.
um,
I like
yeah.
that. So it is the stories, and you're deep steeped in lore. I've been about half paying attention to what Disney says is canon and what isn't, because
Mhm.
who knows? It's all canon if you want it to be. Um, so what is your favorite obscure piece of Star Wars lore?
Uh, the Dianoga, the eye stalk tentacle creature that
Okay.
attacked Luke in the trash compactor on the Death Star, is
Mhm.
uh, canon trans and force sensitive.
Oh,
Yep. So,
I knew that Luke was a little punk kid who needed his butt kicked.
oh, it's been a while since I read that one, but there was legitimate good reasons that the Dianoga grabbed Luke.
Mhm.
Um, I think they did like imparted some weird force vibes or something. I need to read it again, but that I believe that was in the From a Certain Point of View book, which
Mhm.
is a collection of short stories.
Oh, fun. Oh
Hmm.
my God, I love that so much. So, for those of you who like want to get deeper into Star Wars lore, it sounds like, oh my God, this is where my working memory. We're going to see if I can do this from a certain point of view. Might
Hmm.
be a fun one to get into. So,
Yep,
oh,
that's it.
Mark is so on it tonight with these links. It's in the
And
chat now on Discord.
yeah, and as Mark says, the audiobook is highly recommended because Star Wars has some of the best produced audiobooks I've ever listened to.
Really, tell
And
me more about that. I'm huge on audiobooks.
so most well, the cheap audiobooks for like less popular books is somebody reading it. There might be a sound effect or two. Um, Average quality books, you get a little bit more production value, like the
Sometimes the reader does voices. Yeah.
yeah, like the Wheel of Time novels, the audiobooks for that they sprung for two readers, so they could have male and female voices depending on the subject of the chapter.
Mm,
Uh, Star Wars is just with um, so much media out there.
mhm,
Official Star Wars audiobooks, or like Real says in the chat, they're audio dramas,
mhm. I like it.
are are fully produced
Mhm.
with like really good sound effects. Like there's if you're in a ship, there's the background hum of the engines and every in the scene. It's it's subtle, and it makes a huge difference. Um,
Oh my God, I love that.
yeah, uh, and sometimes like I I will keep it spoiler free,
I
but in
appreciate
the
that.
yes, in the High Republic series, there is the Tempest Runner, which is a full audio drama where they have a full cast where they have like 7 or 8 readers doing like a couple voices each, and it's just chef kiss.
Oh my
So
gosh. I'm gonna have to listen to that. I do a lot of audiobooks because I need outside stimulation while I'm working to be able to focus. So that's like, yeah,
mhm.
that is on my list now. You've convinced me.
Yep. And I highly recommend just the High Republic in general because it's really, really gay. Uh,
Nice.
just
Here for it.
going straight statistics. 40% of the queer characters in Star Wars were made in like the last 2 years from the High Republic by two authors. So,
Oh wow. Okay.
yep.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense before then because I think most of the authors were like
I mean, there's
cisgender
like
dudes.
the 1970s to 80s, then 30 years of non-canon stuff, and
Hmm.
then this. So it does make sense, but
I like it.
I really appreciate High Republic for that. It is good.
Nice. I think I heard an interview from one of the authors who's writing an Amidala series in that
Mhm.
Amidala. I didn't say that right. Um, and they sound really good. So let's flip off books and back to you because you're awesome. I know it's definitely something that you geek out about, but like, what else do you geek out about, Sammy?
So
Ah, okay.
I have 98 sets of dice,
I'm here for you. I'm here for you.
which uh, the circles I run in, that would be called a good start.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh my God, are you gonna pull them out? Yes.
that's my dice bag.
I love you.
Yeah,
That's
it's
that easy.
um, yeah, it's you can fit a
Who,
basketball inside it plus a bit.
as you should.
Um,
Who's your favorite?
uh,
I know
I
you
think
got
I
to put
can.
them away and put them in a drawer so they can't hear you.
Yeah, I think I can show it, but I
Yes.
can't say it. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
so this is a rose quartz dice with,
Ooh,
I don't know, my camera doesn't have autofocus, so I don't think it'll work, but it has
that's
an
okay.
axolotl on the
Hmm.
20, and on the one, it says a four-letter word that I'm not allowed to say on the air.
That is not focusing, so you don't have to edit that, Mark. You're welcome. Oh my goodness. Are those the Crystal Maggie dice?
Yes, they are. Yeah, that is a
Wow.
great source. If you're going to get crystal dice, go for them because you're not going to get a better deal anywhere else.
Yeah, I have been eyeballing their stuff for at least a solid year. I too have a dice goblin obsession. So,
How many
yeah,
sets? I
I
need to know if
know.
I win.
You definitely win. I think I only I think what did I count? I think I'm like at 48 right now.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
and
I've been.
it's rough. I have a hardware tool chest that I carry mine in.
Yeah, I need to find a better way to organize mine because uselessly pawing through the stack is
Well, Drunkle Grog
not
got
conducive.
me my organizer, so he'll watch this later. He'll hit you up with what he
Hmm.
got me for Christmas one year because he was like, "Your
Yeah.
dice are out of control."
Yeah. Well, a fun fact about that: I actually
Yes,
made my own dice bag. So
nice.
yeah,
Making
that dice.
armor, making dice bags.
Yeah, that big dice bag is full of smaller dice bags that I also made containing my dice because I need them all in a pile, but I also do the sets separated.
Do they all have pockets or are they all in little tiny? Oh, you made an awesome. Sorry, I just saw something that Mark
Oh,
popped
yes.
up here. You made awesome bags for Course Not Nights giveaway last year.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I made, I think it was two multi pocket dice bags. So
so
it's got like 8 pockets around the side that will hold a set each, and it's kind of a space in the middle. And I think that set included uh, a satchel that would fit about
ooh.
a about a core rulebook plus a bit.
Ooh. Yes, yes, we must have pockets. Must have pockets for our dice. My dice don't. Uh, yeah. Okay, sorry. Woo, ADHD is fun sometimes, y'all. All right. Oh my God, AJ has so many questions. I'm trying real hard not just to pull from his. Um, so Kay White asked, "Are you a book person? If so, what do you like to read?" And we did establish that you like those Star Wars books. And are you an audiobooks? Oh wow, I'm gonna ask one question. Are you an audiobooks only person, or do you like physical books as well, or tablet books, or however else books are now consumed?
I prefer audiobooks just because I can listen while doing other stuff. I have very, like you mentioned, ADHD, so I have trouble
And
sitting down and just reading a book. Like I have a book sitting on my shelf over there. It's a book I want to read. I'm interested in the story. I'm invested in it. I've been on chapter 7 for 3 years. Uh,
understand.
yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
not available in audiobook, so I'm never going to learn how that ends.
Oh my God, I know that pain.
Yep. But I also do have a couple tablets for reading books if I can
Mhm.
sit down and focus for a few minutes, get a few pages in. Um, I've actually given away a lot. Well, not given away. I sold a lot of my physical book collection because they are heavy and I tend to move a lot. Not by
Mm,
choice. It's just the world we live in.
yes, yes,
Uh,
understand, understand.
yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, I've kept a few books like I don't actually have a lot of the physical Star Wars books because audiobooks are easier. But
Mhm.
the few I do have, I keep those physical books, just ones that are easy to reference for if I need that some to reference.
Sammy, come back. That's okay. Sammy's back.
Yep, I'm back. I don't know what happened. Discord just crashed on my end.
That's okay. Discord likes to do that. Discord also shut off your camera because it's mean.
Oh, uh,
That's I game twice a week on Discord, and this randomly happens at least once or twice during a game.
uh,
Yeah, that's okay.
that's
That's okay. You're talking about your precious Star Wars books that you have kept so you could reference. And then I got really excited because I assumed that you were going to say something about lore
the following word was things.
things. Gonna- my descriptors that I like to use are things too. So I
Yeah,
feel you. We're speaking the same language.
mhm. I had no specific example on hand. It's
Mhm.
just it's easier to flip through the pages and reference a certain chapter rather than trying to fast forward through an audiobook trying to find the right thing. It's
Oh
just a little
yeah.
bit faster with a paper book.
Hmm.
So
And as being someone who is super into lore and lore, I don't say that word right, but super into lore and like Star Wars, I love that. I love that you do look back and reference those and make sure you get it right. Again, I like to make up my own words, so I wouldn't do that. More power to
Mhm.
you. So
Well,
I love it.
I get it right. Canon is there to be broken. So
Yes.
uh,
Excellent.
if my story is better, canon sucks. I'll write my way.
I like it. And you know what? Like that's the thing about stories anyway, is we have like the stories that we tell aren't always the same. They do change all the time, and like in Star Wars we've seen they can go and oh my God, I almost did a spoiler there. I'm not going to do that for anybody who hasn't watched the newest Star Wars. Sorry, y'all. But they can say one thing and then go in the next movie and say something totally different. So like our stories are being rewritten all the time. There's no reason we
Mhm.
can't do the same things.
Yeah.
Just like tell story.
Mhm. Sorry, I didn't catch the last line there.
Oh no, that's fine. I said especially because
Okay.
we tell better stories.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Somehow, Palpatine has returned. You have to
Right,
play
right,
Fortnite. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my God, I love it.
uh, fun fact about that movie:
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
order to hear
yeah.
Palpat, in order to hear Palpatine's speech, you had to play Fortnite.
What?
Yes, that was.
I see you, Disney. I see you.
I
They know
have
they connect it all.
incredibly strong feelings about the movies. Generally good because I just really like Star Wars, but there are some things I'll.
I
about.
know, I know, I know. Bless their hearts. I lived in the
Yeah.
South for oh my God, 12 years. So we say
Mhm.
bless their hearts for things like that. That's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
So,
They
ooh,
they tried, and they should hire me instead.
right, right. There's so many Star Wars fans. I don't understand why they like don't go there for the lore. I'm just saying, didn't they put that in the trailer? Who knows?
Uh,
Um,
the movie's like 2 years old. You don't get to spoiler it.
oh, okay. I'm I'm that person who like what was the movie I hadn't seen recently that someone was like, what in the world? Oh, Elf. Like I won't watch a movie for like 10 or 20 years and then I'll be like, oh, there's
Mhm.
this new movie that came out. So try to be sensitive for other people like me.
Mhm.
All right. So before you go, because you have the artwork prepared and I think it's super cool, I would love to see some of the awesome artwork that your friends have done of your characters. And if you can give us kind of a little back, like backstory on them. And then I want to hear, I know we've got 5 minutes left, but I'm like, I really want to hear how much of each character that you have to show us is you.
Uh, all of them. All the
Oh,
characters are just
okay.
all me.
I love
But
it. I love it.
all right.
Tell us more about that.
Sil at the bar saw their partner do something super hot, and she's swooning. Was the pitch I
Oh.
gave the artist.
Uh-huh.
uh, Sil pre-banishment. On the left is Pistol Sage, which was the GM for that game. That was their GM NPC. In the middle is Sil with their armor, and on the right is Kess, Sil's partner.
I
Uh,
love it.
so there was a meme going around where there's a sweater with obviously sleeves, but the entire chest is cut out. Where if you actually wore it, you would probably be arrested on the street for indecent exposure. And so uh, there was
You
a
knew what
meme
it
going
was
around.
for.
Yes, the meme was draw your character in this. And since I can't draw, I pinged my friend at Hermley on the Bird app, and he drew it for me.
Thanks, Hermley.
Yep. Morris Sill, and sometimes she walks around the ship in pajamas. The Mandalorian on her butt
Accurate.
says "yai yai," which is Mandoa for richly nourishing, which is the closest we can get to juicy.
Oh my God. I applaud you for your detail.
That's Sarah, Sill's great grandparent. She's active in the High Republic era.
I
As you
like
can
her.
see, she carries a lot of guns. That's
Nice.
Yezi.
I like her even more. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Tell us about Yezi.
Uh, Yezi is half of the twin legs. I'm playing Beyond the Rim with Bounty from Tabletop Galaxy, and Yezi is one twin, and my friend Nif plays Vi, Yezi's sibling, and between them they share a whole brain cell.
How fun is that
uh,
to play?
it's incredible.
Oh my God, I love
This
that.
is Anza. So
Mhm.
when the High Republic game was pitched to me, I kind of made a few characters just kind of to throw at the GM, see what they felt comfortable with in the game. And Anza was one of them. So she's also from the High Republic era, but from Dathomir, because she is obviously a Dathomirian. And I don't actually play her in any games yet, but she is a small bean. That's Ress. If y'all are keeping up with the Starbirds, that's who I'm playing on the GPG crossover episodes that have been releasing for the past month or so.
And you all should be following Starbirds, and Mark will post a link.
Please do. This is Jag, CT2043. She is a clone of Django, obviously from the Clone Wars era, but she's trans because there is not enough rep in canon. So there you go.
I love it.
More Jag, but it's cold, so puffy coat. Jag in uniform. This was actually based on a reference picture of a trans MMA fighter who was in the same pose with the flag. And I'm like, you know what? That looks a lot like Jag. And pitched it to my friend who's, let me zoom in here. Their Twitter @ is right there.
Nice.
So I pitched it to them, and they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, it's really good. That's so lovely.
Yep. This one is another Hermley did a meme for me.
Mm-hmm.
Fives is a terrible influence and convinced Jag to cut the sleeves off her armor. So she has sleeveless armor that says "Sun's out, guns out."
I like it. I like it. Oh my god, so fun.
Another Jag, but she's undercover in a party dress because, yeah.
One.
And for some reason, there's another Syl and Kess at the very end there.
Aww.
They're on a date. And hang on, I gotta close this quick because there's a cat.
Oh, there is a cat. Hi, kitten. What's your name?
That is Lexi.
Hi, Lexi. Oh my goodness. You are so cute. My dog can hear me talking in the other room. He's like, who are you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
He has feelings. No. Come back. All right, we got you. That's fine. I know. Discord was like, you have had enough time. I disagree with you, Discord. But before we go, is there anything that you would like to add that we haven't asked you? I like saying this like there's more than one of me. That we haven't asked you that you think is important for people to know.
Not really no, but there's a question in chat.
All right, which one is it?
Oh my god, there's too many gifts.
I know, right? All the gifts.
Okay, well, somebody mentioned my shirt.
Yes.
Which is from RPG Sessions, which is the shameless plug, the best system to play FFG games, either Star Wars or Genesis. It does both, and does them both really well, and that's what we use on our main games and any FFG game I'm in. Nice. And I'm a mod on their Discord server, and I get paid in a t-shirt.
Hey, that's worth it. Mark, their mods get paid in a t-shirt. I'm just saying. I kicked one bot out. Mark is like, nope. That's awesome. So RPG Sessions, yep. Mark has already dropped it in there. I love it so much. That is awesome. Sammi, it's been wonderful talking to you. I super appreciate you coming on here and chatting with us about serious stuff, chatting with us about not serious stuff, and just in general, let everybody get to know you. So thank you so much. If people want to find you on the internet, where can they find you?
At Goddess Sammi on Twitter, which is GODDESSAMMI. There's one fewer S's than you might think if you're writing out Goddess Sammi.
I like it.
I'm on the Twitch at Sammi SammiEmN, which I'm not smart, and I use like my real human name in my Twitch name, and
no. If anybody finds you, I got you.
yeah, I mean, it's just like my middle initial and last initial, so it's not like anybody's going to be able to find it
not
from that, hopefully.
Better
but
not.
yeah, I branded myself, and I'm stuck with it.
I understand this. I chose my handle when I was 18 at the dawn of the internet. So I too am stuck. Well, thank you so much. For everybody else, thank you so much for joining us. The chat has been absolutely blowing up. If you all want to see what it's about, hop on over to the Nightcast Creative Discord channel, which I'm sure there will be more links in the YouTube, because that's what Andrew and Mark want to do, is put links on the YouTube. So, but we would love for you to join us. We are going to have another awesome guest next month. Next month, we're going to get to know AJ. And yeah, that's all I got, friends. Thank you so much for joining us. Sammi, thank you so much for being here. And now we just pose and smile until Andrew plays us out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I don't know how to pose, so I'm going to keep talking.